Hi, I'm Hannah, your friendly neighborhood wine mom. Tonight I want to talk about a topic that I'm often asked, not necessarily in the comments or via text, but just in general life. How do I know that I'm pregnant? And this is not about me being pregnant, this is about other people wanting to know how they know that they are pregnant, not me. I am not having any more babies. There's a lot. I didn't realize how much was in the bottle. So first, I just wanna say, if you are pregnant and genuinely wondering if you are pregnant, don't watch this video because you will never know for sure until you are in the doctor's office, you have gotten a blood test, and that blood test has confirmed that you are in fact pregnant. And also, I'm not a doctor or actually qualified to advise anybody on any of this. I just like to drink wine on my couch, and I've been pregnant twice. That's all I got. So first, how soon can you find out? One thing that I did not realize when I found out I was pregnant with my first is that they calculate pregnancy from the first day of your last period. So if you calculate from the first day of your last period, let's assume 2 weeks later you ovulate, you can know as soon as a month after that whether or not you are pregnant. No, for those of you who have this thought that you can have sex and wake up the next morning realizing that you're pregnant, there's just no way. You don't wake up the day after having sex being like, I think I got pregnant last night. It's like a chalice of wine. I will take a small sip. So let's talk about a couple things that can happen when you take a pregnancy test. You can get false results. They can either give you a false positive or a false negative. More typically, it's a false negative. False positives are pretty rare, but they happen. For example, I had a false positive on a pregnancy test, freaked out, then I got my period, but then my period lasted 2 weeks. And I was pretty confused because I was mentally preparing myself for a child, and then I get my period, and it turned out to be a chemical pregnancy, which means the egg was fertilized, but it never embedded in the uterine wall. Essentially, it was releasing the hormones that said I was pregnant, but I wasn't, and then it just occurred like a normal period. Nothing but joy in this episode. And also, you can take one and get a negative when you are totally fucking pregnant, man. You can be just at the very, very early stages of pregnancy, and that urine test does not pick it up enough. So home pregnancy tests are great. They're a great resource. It's a great way to calm your nerves or figure out what's happening. But ultimately, until you're at that doctor's office getting a positive yes or no from your doctor, you don't know for sure. It's real fun today. Let's drink more. So next, let's talk about early pregnancy symptoms. There's a fly in this room and I'm gonna kill it. Where'd it go? So first of all, you might have some food aversions for no reason. For example, when I was pregnant with both of my sons, at the very beginning of my pregnancy, I just wanted to drink ranch dressing, and that's all I wanted to have. And if this food isn't drenched in ranch dressing, I don't want to eat it. Also, you might bloat a little bit more than usual, but for me, as a person who just bloats up and down all day long, that was never an issue. Next, your boobs might get super sore. I remember when I was pregnant with both of my kids, if you just took 2 fingers and tapped right on the nipple area, it would not feel good. Also, you might have some light spotting or bleeding if you are pregnant. And I think a lot of people see that spotting and either feel relieved because they're hoping that they weren't pregnant, or feel disappointed because they were hoping that they were pregnant and they think that they're starting their period. You can get implantation spotting, which means that the fertilized egg is implanting into the uterus and it causes a little bit of bleeding, and it's something that looks like the start of a period, but it actually means that you're pregnant. And then last, you're gonna get some mood swings. I remember being 0 to 60 in 2 seconds, just happy to sad for absolutely no reason. I'd see a commercial with puppies in it and just be like, okay, that's it, my life is over. But if all these symptoms sound familiar and something that you've heard before, it's because they're all the same symptoms as PMS. Really? Come on, really, why did the body have to do us like that? Here you go, you could either be getting your period or pregnant with a child. You don't know because it's the same. So last, people always want to know how I found out that I was pregnant, because I've done it a couple of times. So with both of them, I experienced those very, very similar PMS symptoms of bloating, cramping, sore breasts, nausea. I ended up taking a pregnancy test as soon as I missed my period both times. It was positive, and then I went to the doctor and confirmed. But before I took that pregnancy test and before I missed my period, I had this feeling that I was gonna miss my period. I don't know if it's intuition of your body, but I just knew. And I think it says something because with both of my sons, I wasn't necessarily trying to get pregnant. So I wasn't like actively looking for those signs or like hoping for those signs. I just knew. And this intuition doesn't come like the day after you have sex. This isn't like a wake up the next day and like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. But honestly, pregnancy is so different from mom to mom. I have so many mom friends in all of our pregnancies, and the way we found out and the way that it was, we're polar opposites. And I mean in every direction. It is so different. So there's no one way of knowing whether or not you're pregnant. Well, there's one way, and that's going to the doctor, getting that blood test. So that's all I got for today. I'm Hannah, your friendly neighborhood wine mom, and if you have been pregnant and found out about a pregnancy, leave how you found out in the comments, or like what your symptoms were, or how you found out, because I'm really curious to read that. And if you have a question or anything you want me to talk about in future episodes, leave it in the comments or text me. I read all of them. And just remember that I like to give advice, but at the end of the day, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a normal mom who drinks wine on the couch. So if you have any real questions, make sure to ask your doctor. Be safe. Don't take advice from me. Till next time. I don't think I can finish all this. I'm gonna finish all this.